What is climate change loss and damage? Loss and damage refers to the economic and non-economic consequences of extreme weather events like heat waves, droughts, and hurricanes that go beyond what humans can adapt to. Economic loss and damage includes the quantifiable losses, like reduced crop yields, damage to infrastructure, and the loss of income for farmers. Non-economic loss and damage refers to the intangible damages of climate change, like the loss of lives, cultural heritage loss, and declines in biodiversity and ecosystem services. And as one of the most climate-exposed sectors, agri-food systems are at the forefront of loss and damage. Agricultural losses account for 23% of the overall impact of disasters across all sectors. 65% of drought-related losses occur in the agricultural sector. And an estimated $3.8 trillion worth of crops and livestock production was lost over the past 30 years due to disaster events. So what has been done to address climate change loss and damage? In 2022, the 27th Conference of Parties of the UNFCCC marked a breakthrough in the negotiations on loss and damage, and a fund was created to provide financial support to developing countries that are suffering from the impacts of climate change. In 2023, further progress was made toward the operationalization of the Loss and Damage Fund, with nations pledging over $400 million to support climate-vulnerable countries. In 2024, another important stride was made with the appointment of the first executive director of the fund to move its operation forward. To date, total pledges to the Loss and Damage Fund have reached approximately $700 million. While this marks an historic step towards climate justice, climate finance for small-scale farmers and agribusinesses continues to fall short of need. Between 2019 and 2020, only 4.3% of total climate finance went to the agri-food sector. So how can science contribute to climate finance conversations and expand our understanding of loss and damage? Scientists are using attribution science to calculate the degree to which climate change is impacting yield anomalies and reducing agricultural production. By using attribution science, scientists can provide the evidence, tools, and technical knowledge needed to inform decisions about where and how much funding should be allocated. But attribution science has limits. Data gaps in vulnerable communities means that attribution cannot be done at the same level of quality across the world. Thus, additional action must be taken to ensure that the agricultural sector gets the resources it needs to cope with loss and damage. To ensure that the food and agriculture sectors receives the funding it needs, it is critical that governments 1. Take anticipatory action to minimize agricultural losses and damages. 2. Scale up investment in hydromet services to strengthen early warning and response systems. And 3. Prioritize channeling funding to the most vulnerable populations, the farmers on the front lines of climate change. Only through these actions can the global community work towards a food-secure and climate-resilient future for all.